I was in a functional freeze for probably 2.5 years. And the thing that I learned is that there are levels to the thawing. And what I mean by that is there are times where you start out and you don't even realize that you're in the freeze, right? You're just kind of going through the motions and you're like, this feels problematic. But like you can't really name it. Then you're going to hit a phase where you're like, I can't do anything. I actually don't care about anything. I'm going to do what I have to do. And it's slowly going to just like make you do less and less because you realize how much you were doing that you didn't have to be doing. And so that's where you get into this freeze and you're like, just like going through life with a blindfold almost. And then, but not in a good way. And then you hit this point where you're like, oh, I'm frozen. And it like, you're now aware of the fact that you're frozen. And then you're like, well, now I have to do something about it. And you're like, how do I do something about this? Then you finally make this big leap. You quit your job, you get out of the relationship, you go, you do whatever you do. I don't know. Then that's when you think you're out of the freeze. And you're like, I'm free. I'm doing something different. That's not when it ends. That's not when it ends. You thought the first level. You thought the first level. The first level is, well, I guess not knowing. Then the second level is knowing that something's fucked up. Then the third level is not being able to actually do anything. And then the fourth level is like realizing that you're frozen. The fifth level is making the jump. The sixth level is just floating in that and trying different things and trying to figure out how to rest, because there is an art to resting. It is a skill that has to be learned. So now you're spending all this time learning how to rest. And the thing is that the levels are going to be different for everyone, but you're going to learn how to physically rest. You're going to learn how to mentally rest. You're going to learn how to emotionally and spiritually rest. You need to be able to figure out how to do those 3 types of resting. And then once you've accomplished those 3 levels, because they're going to happen in different orders for everyone, I think. That's when you're going to get to the level where you're like, oh, now I'm trying to actually put puzzle pieces together. Like I'm thinking about getting out of this weird hole that I put myself in now that I have a completely different perspective on life. Then that's when it clicks and you're like, the answers have been right in front of me this whole time, but I was so frozen that I couldn't read. I forgot how to read. I felt illiterate for 2.5 years. And I'm not speaking, this is like a metaphorical thing, but you feel illiterate for 2.5 years. And then you wake up one day and you're like, I can read. I can read. And then once you're in the I can read phase, it's go time, baby. Now you can be successful. And that's how I view the levels of thawing out of a functional freeze. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.